Yeah.
Story. Welcome, everyone. This is the May 27th, 2025 board briefing of the county commissioners. Please let the record reflect that we have all 5 commissioners present. We have Commissioner Cuny joining us virtually in the room. We have Commissioners Jordan, Waldref, French, and Kearns, and we are going to lead off today with a presentation from Dan Gadd. He's going to give us a briefing on workers' compensation, property liability program contract actuary. So take it away, Dan.
All right. So just a quick background on PwC or PricewaterhouseCoopers. They've provided our actuary for the last, well, actually over 10 years. In 2024, when the invoices were submitted, there was apparently a change. I wasn't part of that. I was just on the kind of the emails of that with the previous director. And there were some changes on how that needed to be processed and approved. In 2025, when that contract came through, I did sign that. And when we submitted the invoices, that's when purchasing got a hold of us and said, actually, that process was never completed and was never finished. So I'm just here seeking for approval for that payment. It's $52,000 is the total, but those dollars are already in our budget. We're pre-approved for that. This is just more of a missed step, I believe, in that process. I think with Workday coming on at the beginning of the year and all of that, this particular project to look for a multi-year contract agreement. And we piggyback with the risk pool. They use the same actuary. So this is just a piggyback contract. Like I said, it just kind of got lost, I think, with Workday and everything else that was going on. And so we actually have a project in place with purchasing. So hopefully we don't have to do this again next year. That's pretty much it.
Any questions for Dan?
Yep. Okay.
I think we're good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Kyle. With direct sale of some land here.
Good morning, commissioners. Hope everybody had a lovely holiday weekend. For your consideration today, we're discussing the direct sale of a portion of a parcel out in Four Lakes. It's right off of Ring Road. You can see that dirt little ring road on the right there. And if you look at the map, you can kind of see in the aerials here, there are some encroachments on this parcel. It's all one parcel. We're just discussing the portion in the north that's in the red square right there, adjacent to 0830. We acquired this back in 1999. It actually continued up to the north. We've already sold the northern portion on 0833 there. That was sold for $16,500. We purchased the property for $8,700. And this is just kind of a weird situation where there was historically a bunch of survey area problems out there. And so, long story short, parcel lines were all inaccurate. And the assessor went back and cleaned these all up. And once the assessor cleaned them up, we figured out that there was a bunch of encroachments. You can see there's a garage on our property, some outbuildings. And so the adjoining property there on 0830, I think they would like to be able to sell their property, but they can't because of, they can't sell it with these encroachment issues. We have already allowed access on our parcel because otherwise they'd be locked out of it. We don't have any need for this in the foreseeable future, and the property owner would certainly be harmed if they're not. If we sold this to another party, which is why the board is being asked to consider a direct sale. So let me go to the next slide. There's just, yes, sir.
Before you do that, you go back to the aerial again. So I understand and appreciate the challenge with selling 0830, but couldn't they achieve the same thing by doing a boundary line adjustment?
Well, this is our property.
Oh, it's our property.
We own this in the road fund.
Got it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna sell it. Okay.
Next slide, Ron. So there's a little bit of that history. They have access. This property owner is interested in buying the land adjacent to their property. We did reach out to the owner to the south to see if they'd be interested. They were not, but they're elderly and just don't want to buy it at this time. I think we will be coming back to you sometime in the future to try to dispose of the lower half, but go to the next slide, Ron. This is a direct sale is allowable under 1.46.040. We appraised the original 1.5 acres at $90,000 last year. So if we sold them a little under half an acre, would be approximately $30,000. We would ask the buyer to pay for that. We will have to do a boundary line adjustment. We would ask the buyer to pay that, including the recording, and relinquish their easement on the remaining acreage. This would be a public hearing item. Just wanted to see if you would like staff to move forward with selling this parcel and put a little juice into the road fund, getting rid of some property we don't really need.
Can I ask Scott, why do you, and I know this predates you, predates all of us here, why would we have purchased this property in 1991 or 1999 in the first place?
You know, I think Matt looked into it a little bit, and it had to do with where we thought we were gonna have to put ring road because the lines were all messed up. And then it turned out we didn't. So we thought we were gonna need it for a road that where we don't.
Okay,
Everything was all shifted. There was some. It's all rumor mill, but there was some very shady surveying done in the 80s and 90s in this area. With that.
Commissioner CUNY?
Yeah, I guess one of the questions I have, Matt, is if we look at that, or Matt, I'm sorry, Kyle, if we look at the aerial view, the property next, just, down from it also has encroachment on it. And so what are we doing there?
We would like to sell it to them, but the owner is very elderly and did not want to purchase it at this time. But they would not be able to sell that property without cleaning this up. So I assume at some point in time, we will be hearing from their next of kin.
Okay, so are we making sure that we're stating in the sale that we're doing now that this is based on market? Because I wouldn't want the person coming back in the future to on the 90/50 to say, well, you sold it at this price, so therefore it should be the same price for us.
We can certainly ensure that. We did an appraisal this time, and at that time, unless they came to us next month, we would be getting a new appraisal and getting current market value for that before we brought it forward for board's consideration.
Okay, I would just want to make sure that we state that in there.
Okay.
Otherwise, I just want to make sure for future purchasing, someone looking to purchase, they don't think that they can just use the same, even, you and I know it's all appraisal and market value. I would just like to say that it was based on these things. This is the price we're selling it for.
Certainly. So if the board's comfortable, we would then move forward, draft up a purchase and sale agreement, start moving on the boundary line adjustments and bring it forward, notice a public hearing, and then close the sale.
Good.
Thank you.
All right, it brings us to miscellaneous items. Anybody?
That's quick. I have one. Oh,
Commissioner CUNY?
Trying to unmute here, sorry. So the one that I have is that I think we are looking to set up that joint city council county commissioner meeting again. So I think there's discussions of dates that are starting to get out there. So just want you to all be aware of that, we're going to try to set that up as soon as we can. So just be watching for dates and seeing if we can make changes in schedules to make it happen.
Any idea what month we shooting for? Like June or July?
Yeah, I think June is what we're shooting for.
All right.
So that's why I just got the call from Council President Betsy Wilkerson just saying, it might be time. And I know Commissioner French, you talked about it a couple of weeks ago that we wanted to try to set something up soon. So I think it'll be good timing to try to set something up here as quickly as possible. Still lots going on in the world of the city county work.
Okay.
I just I talked to the chair. Item 5H is the Safe and Healthy Task Force today. I'm gonna ask that we strike that. There's a little bit more work to do on it, including some legal structure questions we want to work through. So I'll bring that back when it's ready to go.
5H?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, no, I concur with that. I think we need to, there's just a couple areas that we just want to make sure that we're working with legal, that legal had some questions on. So we want to make sure that we're all set before we get it out there.
Okay. All right. Any other miscellaneous? So we have our placeholder always here for media press releases, proclamations. Anything for us? No? Media? Anybody bugging you for stories?
Oh, they're always doing that.
Okay. All right, guys, it is
It's quickest meeting.
it's 9:12, so
CEO must
feel
be out of
free.
town or something.
no exec sessions. Okay, all right.
Thanks for asking.
Well, everybody have a good rest of the morning. We'll see you back at 2 o'clock. Commissioner Cuny, are you zooming in at 2?
Yes.